This is Hinos Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. And like the Tibetan Mastiff that I am, I'm applying what? Unlimited pressure. Because pressure does what? It bursts its pipes. Now let's talk about it. Canelo Cinnamon Saul Alvarez. I'm going to lump him and Terence Crawford, the Chihuahua, walking behind the damn fence. Both of these motherfuckers in one video. The bottom line is this, in its most cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat true-teller fashion. We have to look at both of these guys. And we have to judge both of these guys by the weights and the balances. Canelo Alvarez rehydrated, forced Danny Jacobs to dehydrate himself. See, this is what people don't understand. And see, I saw this fuck shit on the live the other day. And he's the homie. Esau the devil, you the homie. But I gotta get on you, bro. We gotta hold Canelo Alvarez's feet to the damn fire. See, Hinos Sport doesn't tell y'all motherfuckers what y'all want to hear. He tells you what you need to hear. Let me say it again. Hinos Sport doesn't tell you motherfuckers what you want to hear. He tells you what you need to hear. When a guy's fighting a Yidrim, a dude that's out of Iraq who is the butt jokes of sparring, a guy that goes from one sparring gym to the next sparring gym and gets the shit beaten out of him. And Canelo Alvarez knows this intel, just like he always knows the intel of everything else that he does in Rudy Poo and Plum Plum Brain fashion, in classic Doden and Troglodyte fashion, in ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric fashion. But this is the guy that's supposedly the cash cow, the guy that DAZN is suing. See, if he was the cash cow, why are they suing him? Because he doesn't want to take on opposition, strong opposition. Do you guys understand what a cash cow is in boxing? This is a guy who's not only a wealth generator, a wealth stream, basically maker. He's also a guy that's willing to take on challenges, because this is what cash cows do. They take on challenges. When was the last time Canelo Alvarez took on a challenge that you said was a real challenge? Don't give me Sergey Kovalev, a guy that was 6 weeks removed from the Anthony Yarde fight that was concussed. We knew what the intel was. Caleb Plant told us about that shit. Caleb Smith told us about that shit. That's what, like, you ain't gonna do us like you did Sergey Kovalev. He's not trying to fight no Dmitry Bivol at his full strength. He's not trying to fight an Arthur Beterbiev at his full strength. So we have to keep the foot on Cinnamon Dust's neck. We have to keep the foot on Cinnamon Dust's neck. I don't see him clamoring for no damn Demetrius Andrade. That's an easy fight to be made, because that's a DAZN type of fight. They both on DAZN. Since DAZN is a failing app and DAZN sued Canelo Alvarez, and see, this is how you could tell Canelo Alvarez doesn't want any free smoke. He was right there at the courtroom to basically put a counter suing in. I mean, come on. Who the fucking does that? See, this is what the fight game has turned to. Hispanic fighters lacking Hispanic backbones. Let me say it again. Hispanic fighters lacking Hispanic backbones. Where are the real Hispanic fighters at? I guess there are things of legends of old. Where are the Juan Manuel Marquez's at? Where are the Julio Cesar Chavez's at? Where are the Oscar de la Hoyas of the world at? Yeah, I think they're all gone. I think they are stuff of legend, like you see in Greek mythology. This shit don't exist no more. When you got guys like Patrick Chisora running his fucking mouth, doing what we do, a cockamamie version of clout chasing, and didn't want any free smoke with Jamel Charlo. This is what Canelo Alvarez has become. And this whole Danny Jacobs situation, Danny Jacobs' son was sick. At least I respect Triple G, because he let Danny Jacobs rehydrate back up to 186. That's why that fight turned out the way it was. And Canelo saw that shit. Let's not act like Canelo didn't see that. And Canelo said, nah, you can't rehydrate back up to 171. Do you guys know math? 186 to 171, that's a 15-pound differential in rehydration. Let me say it again. It's a 15-pound differential in rehydration. Think about that, folks. Now we have to go to the Chihuahua barking behind the damn fence. And the Prediction King strikes again. And the Prediction King strikes again. Hinos Sport told you motherfuckers that the Terence Crawford and the Kell Brook fight wasn't going to happen. Now we just need to see who the next opponent's going to be. Is it going to be Mean Machine? Or is it going to be Josecito Lopez? Hinos Sport told you guys, but you wouldn't listen, dog. Because Hinos Sport is a Yoda out here in these boxing streets. He's in seer mode. And I see the fraudulent the Chihuahua barking behind the damn fence. Terence Crawford is basically wasting his self away. He has no one to blame but himself. And Rudy Poo and Plum Plum Brains, classic Dolce and troglodytes, ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric that don't want to blame Terence but Crawford, they have a fundamental problem. This is a grown-ass man. This is a guy that's supposed to clean up his side of the streets. This was Errol the True Spence was talking about when he said, you clean up your side of the damn streets, I'm going to clean up my side of the streets so we can have a super fight of the ages. How can you have a super fight of the ages when only one guy is doing heavyweight lifting? Come on, man. Do I need to let that marinate in the medulla oblongata? Do I need to let that marinate in the corpus callosum? Or do I need to let that marinate in the cerebellum? So hear me and hear me fucking well. You got one guy in Errol the True Spence doing heavyweight lifting, but Terence but Crawford isn't. That's a fundamental problem, y'all. That's a fundamental issue. And when one guy's i.e. doing heavyweight lifting and the other one is being a chihuahua barking behind the damn fence, then Houston, we have a fucking problem. So He Knows the Sport knew all along that Terence but Crawford wasn't going to do that free smoke. But he's hiding behind the whole situation of Bob Arum. I knew this fight was fucking bullshit when Eddie Hearn never came out and said that this fight was actually going to happen. That's when I knew it was a fuck shit fight. Because if this fight was actually going to happen, we were going to get, as fight fans, an actual announcement. This is not our first rodeo, y'all. And like my boy Tom Ross TV say, I was born at night, but I wasn't damn sure born last night. Let me say it again. I was born at night. As a matter of fact, it was late at night, but I damn sure wasn't born last the fucking night. And what's going on with the chihuahua barking behind the damn fence? There's an unwillingness for him to do heavyweight lifting so that he could bring something of credence to the Spence versus the Crawford fight. So this is not a super fight of the ages. This is basically Spence, the superstar, versus Terence but Crawford, the whatever. Because if people want to be honest and want to be truly what they call unbiased, which that shit don't fucking exist because everyone has their form of biases. He Knows Sport already debunked that a long time ago. We would see, why is Terence but Crawford not clamoring like Sugar Ray Leonard once did? But Sugar Ray Leonard was like, I need these fights for my legacy. And the reason why I liken Sugar Ray Leonard to Terence but Crawford is because they both are that token Negro. Let me say it again. They both are that token Negro that basically knows how to talk and this and that. But the problem is, Terence but Crawford doesn't have the same level of charisma that Sugar Ray Leonard has. And he's not as charismatic. He's a lot more boring. But at least Sugar Ray Leonard understood from a legacy standpoint, he had to put that fire up under Bob Arum's ass to get the fucking fights that he wanted. But why is Terence but Crawford not doing it? It's because he's a chihuahua walking behind the damn fence. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat two-teller fashion. This fight was not gonna happen because Terence but Crawford doesn't want no real test. See, Bob Arum's is smart. You can say what you want about that old senile man, but one thing you can't say is he's dumb. Let me say it again. You can say what you want about that old senile man, but one thing you can't say is that motherfucker's dumb. He sees a long time ago and right in front of his face that Terence but Crawford ain't beating no damn Errol the True Spence. He's getting parked, he's getting punished, and he's getting stopped. He's a super cash out slaughterhouse. That's why he's preserving him. That's why he's preparing him. Have you ever guys heard of the terminology preparing the lamb for the slaughter? Let me say it again. Preparing the lamb for the slaughter. That's what Terence but Crawford is. He's the lamb being prepared for the slaughterhouse or the cash out slaughterhouse of Errol the Truth Spence. Just like Freddie Rose said, they call him the truth because what? There's no lies in his damn fist. And like Richard Schaefer said, we left the Mayweather era and we ushered into the Spence era. So when Spence and Crawford comes, just like Mayweather versus Pacquiao, it's going to be an epic dud. Because what you guys are going to realize is, damn, all along, this guy right here was just leagues and shoulders above the fray. I keeps the foot on the what? On the X. I keeps the foot on the what? On the X. This is He Knows the Sport. Checking out.